Hello everyone, here we have with us Mr. Abhineet Garg, the author of the book Nidhivan. Hello sir, it's a pleasure to have you for this discussion.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good sir, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So starting with the title of the book Nidhivan, it's so appealing just looking at the title. So how did you come up with this book, with this title? What was the thought and idea behind this?
So basically, it was not something that was planned. So I just happened to visit Vrindavan, where I learned about Nidhivan, and something triggered that allowed me to go ahead and explore more about it. And when I started exploring about it, I felt like writing about it as well. So that is how this book took birth.
Okay. So, as all of us know that Nidhivan is a place which is wrapped in silence and reverence. So, what was your personal encounter when you went there? How did you feel?
So it is magical. I would say it is very celestial, and I would say when you enter that place, you automatically start feeling that uh, there is some kind of uh, energy that is flowing through, which a positive energy, and that I mean, that was a very surreal experience that cannot be explained in words. I have tried to, write about it as much as I could, but honestly, documenting it in words and actually experiencing are two separate things.
Correct.
So, I would suggest anyone who is listening to this or reading the book should surely go ahead and visit that place once.
Definitely. So, how did you approach this story? More as a believer or as a storyteller?
It was actually both. So, to write about something, you need to first believe in it. So, if let's say you are writing about, let's say, something which is a fiction, which we call it as a fictions. Let's say science fiction, right? Unless you don't believe in it that this may happen, you cannot write about it. So I think first you have to become a believer that yes, this is happening, or this could happen, or this will happen. And once you have that belief, only then you would be able to, write the story around it. And then your storytelling mode is always, you know, you make stories. You even in general world as well, we do make stories. Not the exact incident is told to anyone, like it happened.
Hmm.
There is always some bits or pieces that are added or modified, with which the storytelling mode gets activated in every human.
Yeah, true. So, the journalists, so there are different protagonists, journalist, scholar, historian, and each represent different ways of seeking the truth. So, what do you think these perspectives reveal about the modern relationship with their faith?
These three were chosen because I think these three professions are the professions who like to question, who just don't believe in believing whatever is told. They like to reason out, they like to figure out why this happened, how this happened, and that is the reason people will relate more. So if let's say you don't believe anything, right, or you have a doubt about anything in your mind, the first thing you will find about search from for a news or someone who is an expert or in that, whether this is a true statement or not, right? So that's the reason why these three professions were chosen, as they are the people who uh, like to question everything.
Correct. So, what aspects of Indian mythology, as we know, our Indian mythology is too vast. So, what aspects of our Indian mythology felt essential to be added in this?
Um, I feel that our mythology is vast, but still it is it's like a tree. It is rooted to only three deities, and then that tree has grown, right? So I think the importance was that you just so it is said that Hindu mythology is the oldest and the uh, most vast one, right? So I think the essential part is the artifacts that we find, right? So there are a lot of artifacts that are there for different mythological stories. So Nidhivan is one of them, and that is the reason why Nidhivan was picked up. Like Kailash Parvat is there, right?
Yeah.
Only mountain which is unclaimed, right? Which is not been uh, conquered by any hiker. Then you've seen Ram Setu. You have seen other such artifacts that are not possible in modern world. So those artifacts are very essential to be understood, and to be able to showcase them as much as we can. So I've tried a little bit on this part as well. There are a couple of artifacts that I've myself visited and studied about, and I have added those in this book as well. So I think today's generation and today's world wants artifacts. That if I'm claiming something, there should be an artifact attached to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Gen Zs also these days are more interested into knowing what was the history or the proof of evidence for believing in all of these.
Correct.
So how do you hope that as I'm saying, Gen Zs or the young readers are unfamiliar with these legendary artifacts or something? So how will this book help them to know more about it, more about Nidhivan?
It is more of revelation, right? Whatever I learned when I went there, right? It was something that at this age as well, it was like something someone was telling me a new thing, right? And I got intrigued. So I feel that anyone, be it any age, forget about this generation, but any age who will go through this book, they would want to visit again if they are a believer, right? If they just take it as another fictional story, a fairy tale story, then I can't say. But if they are a believer, they would surely want to visit. And as I said earlier as well, writing about it and experiencing it are very different angles. So reading only would be able to create that curiosity, but until and unless you don't visit, you will not be able to feel that what I felt. I think again, I cannot explain, but it was very different. Yep.
Yeah. So we come to a fun segment, which is this or that. So faith or reason?
Faith.
Okay. Silence or explanation?
Silence.
Memory or imagination?
Imagination.
Destiny or choice?
I think here I will say both. It is destiny, but again, what you choose defines your destiny again. So I think both.
Okay. Witnessing or believing?
Believing.
Okay. So, when you started writing, writing is often described as a combination of visual and your storytelling. So how did you shape the rhythm of this book to reflect devotion that you feel?
Okay, so actually I always wanted to become screenwriter or something, right? And that is how I have tried to portray my work. So making it more visually rich, that if someone is reading it, they would be able to visualize it, right? I try to put in all those details, even minutest of the details. So this is what my style of working is, and I think it should have a balance, right? It should not have too much information that becomes redundant, or someone gets bored, but it should not have less details as well, so that the person feels okay, it just started and it ended like this. So there should be a balance, and should be enough information to keep the reader you know glued to the book. So that's what I feel, that this is what my writing style is, and this is what I will always suggest anyone who is writing.
Okay. So, was there any moment while writing you just felt, that some super energy or power which is, holding you or supporting you while writing? Since Nidhivan is an experience, so there is an energy which is supporting you while writing. Did you ever feel that?
Yes, actually, there is a very interesting story. So when I visited, I told you, something triggered that, you should know more about it. And when I started, exploring about it, I usually, saw some dreams where I could, relate the story that this is what might be happening. I know it is science that whatever you think about in sleep is what you usually see. So, but I feel that again, this is something which is still unexplained, how dreams work and everything. So, I think that was one energy that encouraged me to write about it. And in fact, in the last part of the book, something similar I have narrated as well. That how the writer of this book in the story, right, was able to see everything and write about it. So the boy that you see in the book sitting outside the gate
Yes.
is that same person.
Okay. So, last question, that what kind of inner questions do you feel that this book will answer for the people who believe but yet are somewhere they are hesitant to accept it or something like that? How will this book solve few of their questions?
See, this book is teaching you, or I would say, is trying to tell you that there are certain things which does not require any kind of explanation, right? If they're there and there is, so it is said that you should not visit Nidhivan after sunset, right? But yes, there were a couple of people who attempted that. So I think what it tells us, or this book tells you, is that if there is something which is meant to be kept as hidden, let it be. Do not intervene, do not interfere. Curiosity is one thing, but there are different ways to explore that. And do not go ahead and intervene what is not meant to be. So I think you should go with the flow. And other question that it may answer is, again, it can work as an artifact, right? It can explain a lot of links, lot of dots that are connected with this particular forest. And if people read this and then start exploring, it will be much easier for them to explore, because I have connected those dots in this book, the different landmarks that are important for this particular story. So that is what I think would be answered when you read this book.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for this discussion. I think all the viewers and listeners who are listening and watching this podcast will be interested in reading the book more about Nidhivan and experiencing it through the book. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.